Well, hey everyone. I wanted to come out and give you some more encouragement here as we are still watching and waiting and looking up, and there's amazing things and reasons to be looking up. Besides the fact that we know at any moment that Trump will sound and we will be called up hither. So I heard somebody in the comments, okay, yeah, I can hear, talking about feeling the butterflies in their belly, and well, so have I, and how ironic that I had already downloaded some kind of wallpaper here that would reflect that as well. And it was a beautiful day in North Texas, 92 degrees, lots of butterflies and bees everywhere. So we see what's going on, and the heavenlies are certainly displaying His glory. So I should add a few things here as far as the lawn man, as I was giving that testimony last night. I want you to know that, he barely speaks English, and his wife has to interpret a lot for the interpretation. And he's pretty much business as well. So when he was standing there pointing up, I'm thinking automatically he's thinking about trying to get more business and telling me to cut down the trees or something when he was pointing up. Well, that's why I had to ask him twice. I wasn't quite awake. And he said, Jesus is coming. And I again repeated, what? And he said, Jesus is coming. Plain as day. Absolutely no accent, no language barrier. Everybody knows Jesus, right? And there's no language barrier, as in all in the upper room, right? They understood one another, and they were all speaking in different tongues. So it doesn't matter the nationality. We know each other by our fruit. So knowing that we are in the season, everything's about to happen, and war drums are beating. I heard that the bear has been hiding out in his cave. When they get backed into a corner, that's what they do. And no need to fear, because Jesus is near. But while we're doing this, we're watching, we're waiting, we're occupying, we're praying, and we're planting seeds. So I also left out a part that yesterday I had noticed on my trail cameras that there was this crazy big, huge, fat thing in my backyard. And, looking in my neighborhood, I'm seeing bobcats, coyotes, and, you name it, that's here in the suburbs where we know they're not supposed to be. And it's kind of like a biblical thing as well. So I'm talking to her, and her name is Carol next door, about this big, fat raccoon that I had caught on my trail cam. And if you remember, I also had put up a video a few years ago when we kept hearing all that ruckus happening up in the attic. And then out popped the head of a raccoon in the eave, right? And of course, this is the thief of the night, right? They kind of look like that with that masked face, but watching and waiting. Well, he wasn't going to get by me. So she had said to me when I said that, and she said, she said, I've seen it too, Deb, and I think it's a pregnant raccoon mama, and she's about ready to give birth. Okay, well, what do you think my spirit did, right? It kind of leapt. All right, I'm thinking, well, how awesome is this? You just can't make this stuff up, y'all. So this morning, I had set my alarm early, had things to do. And at probably about 5 o'clock-ish, a little bit afterwards, I heard this big old noise thud against the building, of course, thinking another bird had flown in or something, but it was really way too early and kind of dark outside. I'm like, okay, well, what woke me up? But, praying for Israel, it was like, Israel was on my heart, and praying for them, and thinking about the fact that, wow, everything is about to happen. We know it is, and right now, y'all, we just need to put all our trust and faith and understanding. Lean not onto it, but trust the Lord, okay? He's got this. He will take care of all of it, no matter what. No worries. So let's not our heart be weary. And be excited. We got a wedding to go to. So after I get my coffee and everything, I get out here and I start looking at my trail camera. And what do I see? Well, my trail camera picked up this big, old, fat, pregnant raccoon walking right by. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, there she is. It's like, great. And she's going to have her baby. She's about to give birth. Oh my goodness. Can you figure this out, right? Well, I was excited to see that. Of course, she's welcome here, Debbie's Bed and Breakfast. So the day's events have been a lot, and to squeeze everything in a short amount of time, I'm not going to be able to do it. But I do want to share something. As there's a beautiful moon up there tonight, and the skies are gorgeous. So I thought I'd do it this way because I needed to share this. What's going on? And I thought, wow, gee, I need to look up about the full moon this month, right? And when is it? So I see that a full moon, and I put a picture of it in the community section. It's going to be called the Hunter's Moon. On October 9th, the full Hunter's Moon will rise once again, reaching peak illumination at approximately 4:54 p.m. As with all full moons, the moon will appear bright and full during the night before, the night, and after the peak, offering sky watchers 3 chances to bask in the autumn moonlight. Again, another 3-day event, but I also thought of confirmation, right? So I wanted to know a little bit more about the Hunter's Moon. And of course, this is a time when everybody's going out and hunting and, getting their meat and storing it for the winter. And so then I have put this picture of the bow. I thought that was amazing, as the picture that I put in there was of Aquarius about ready to pour out judgment. Saturn, it was right next to the moon, and this was last night. I haven't had a chance to look into my app for tonight, other than what I'm seeing with my eyes. It's gorgeous. So it says here that the Hunter's Moon in October, and it talks about the fact that it's going to reach its peak on October 9th, and how it gets its name, but the best days by the moon, folklore, and more. And so we see the moon in October, and the Hunter's Moon will reach peak illumination at 4:54 p.m. on Sunday, October 9th. It will be below the horizon at this time, so we'll have to wait until sunset to watch it rise and take its place in the sky like September's harvest moon. Remember, that was a 3-day event as well. So the Hunter's Moon rises around the same time for several nights in a row. So start looking for it on Saturday, October 8th. It's going to be the 8th, 9th, and 10th. As the moon drifts over the horizon around sunset, it may appear larger and more orange. How perfect for the fall season. But don't be fooled by the moon's illusion, which will make the moon appear bigger than it really is. And then it talks a little bit about it and why the harvest, the hunter, the equinox was last month. And, the Native Americans and why it's called these certain things, and the lunar, month, etc. And I'll leave this link in the description box for you, okay? So I also saw that it was talking about how, and I thought that there's just no coincidences with Jesus, and wow, I think we've figured this out, right? So we see that the mysterious October camel leoparded meteor showers peak tonight. And I always used to make a joke about the fact that the Lord has got a great sense of humor. Look at the giraffe, right? That's like the funniest creature I've ever seen. He's got a great sense of humor, but I didn't know that there was actually, something in the heavenlies that looked like that. So The October are particularly bright, but they're a curiosity worth to see. So there's going to be a meteor shower tonight, an emanation shower originating by that word or giraffe constellation. Really? You just can't make this stuff up. Alright? So we see this here that the moon meteor shower peaks on Thursday evening tonight at 6 o'clock, offering a chance to catch a few early autumn meteors before the much more brilliant Taurus peak next month. And talks about the radiant of the October showers point from which they appear to originate will be just below the actual or giraffe constellation will appear above the constellations Ursa Minor and Draco. What is Draco? Right. Well, the radiant will reach its highest point in the sky around 11 a.m. EDT 1500 GMT on Friday, October 7th. So the best time for most folks to catch a glimpse of the October meteor shower will be between 1 a.m. and dawn. And sky watchers in New York City should have an optimal view for catching the shower, as Earth will be rotated so that the city faces towards its radiant, according to thesky.org. So then it goes on to talk about, October's full moon, meaning the conditions are not ideal for spotting those showers because of the brightness of the moon, but still, the meteor shower itself is enough of a curiosity to make it worth attempting to see. It talks about how meteor showers are typically produced by streams of comet debris that burn up in the Earth's atmosphere, and these debris trails typically distribute themselves along the orbit of their parent objects through our solar system. And you notice how, we're even seeing the planets, the comets, everything with our naked eyes even, right? It kind of feels like you can reach up and touch them. So, of course, looking through binoculars or anything else, so you're going to be able to see it. And most likely, if you're on a high peak, you're going to be able to see it with your eyes. So there's more to see, too, because of the fact that the meteors have been in orbit and that being from a comet from a long period, similar to Halley's Comet, yet there is no known comet that has been identified as having spawned the whatever they are. Okay? So this means either we have discovered it, we haven't discovered it yet, amazing, or that the comet has long since disintegrated or crashed into another celestial body, similar to the comet Shoemaker Levi. 9 stands for judgment, y'all, which spectacularly crashed into Jupiter in 1994. Really? Oh, wow. Well, Jupiter's the king planet. So looking for a telescope or binocular to observe these meteor showers, and where to start, guides, and it tells you all that there. And where the best locations are. So there's also more to look at. As you see here that it talked about the fact that in North Texas, there's also going to be more to look up at and more reason to, because there's, not also that meteor shower, but we've got the International Space Station that we can see at 7:44, and I'll put these links in as well. And at 8:33, and I used to see it, and my goodness, when it came around, I think it was 2013 or 2014, I could see it with my naked eyes out there in the dark. Pitch black. It was beautiful. whether or not you believe in it has everything to do with nothing other than the signs are in the sun and the moon and the stars. The perplexity on Earth is getting really crazy, and I'm not being able to find a link that I want to share. So let's try it again. So it talks about this full moon on October 9th. Now on 10:10, I keep getting a lot as well. And I do believe that there's, I don't know, something that's about to happen. Either or. Twinkle puff? I pray it would be. But this moon won't be a super moon, but it will still brighten the sky for several nights. And I know that it's called Hunter's Moon, the Dying Grass Moon, the Saccharine Moon, and the Blood Moon, because there's going to be a tint of orange, but that's not a blood moon, alright? So the full moon that follows the harvest moon, the full moon occurring closest to the earth wasn't last month, not the autumn equinox, is known mostly commonly as the Hunter's Moon, according to NASA. The earliest known usage of the name Hunter's Moon is 1710, as its name implies that it is the time when hunting is getting underway. Jesus is coming, all right? There's going to be a lot of stuff happening during the tribulation, like never at any time before. So we say that the Native American tribes have different names for this moon. Reports say that one of the names they gave this moon is the travel moon. I thought that was awesome. We ready to travel? We're ready to take off in Flight 777 and we're getting in the Ark? What are we doing, right? Twinkle Puff, okay. And there are a couple of different reasons attributed to this name. One is an observation of the wildlife migration patterns and traveling south for the winter of many species, and the other reasons may be because native tribes living and hunting in higher elevations would head down to lower elevations to avoid the harsh winters as the elevated elevations. Travel moon isn't the only name reported. It also says that the names include the dying grass moon, the saccharine moon, or the blood moon. The dying grass moon is an obvious name due to its being the time of the year that the growing season comes to a close. Now, this is a little bizarre because my grass is green, my trees are still green, my flowers are still growing. I got oregano like crazy. I think I've harvested like 20 peppers today, the sweet peppers, and those are still going, and it was 93 degrees, so okay. This is just, normal stuff that we know, the new norm, right? So first to define the saccharine is that a descriptive term meaning the blood red. So both saccharine or blood are basically saying the same thing. And the two possible reasons for the name are either the changing of the leaves and seeing some species of trees turning blood red, or it also relates to hunting and likely is referencing the process of prepping hunted game for eating. So when you see the full hunter's moon in the Youngstown area, the full moon's harvest moon will occur at 4:55 p.m. on Sunday, October 9th, and the moon will not be visible at that time. However, it will still appear to be full to the naked eye for a few days around the date of the full moon. And the almost full moon arises at 6:37 p.m. And again, I'll leave all these links. And it will set Sunday morning at 7 a.m. in the western sky. The full moonrise will take place Sunday evening at 7:01 p.m. in the eastern sky, and the full moon will be out until Monday morning at 8:09, setting in the western sky. The moon will still look nearly full when it rises Monday evening. The Monday sunrise will be at 7:24 in the east northeastern sky. The following moonset will be occurring Tuesday at 9:18 in the western. So it talks here about the hunter's moon, the dates and times, and it's not really called a super full moon and or a blood moon, even though it's got a tint of orange to it. It could be, well, I've seen pictures of places like up north where all the trees are turning already, and autumn is a beautiful time someplace. I kind of like Texas's time as far as full moons are concerned, and or the seasons, right? I like 93 degrees. So sorry about the planes, my goodness. And I look up and see this beautiful moon in front of me. So, wow, we got lots of reasons to look up. We got lots of seeds to plant. My squirrels out here are plenty, and they're grabbing 2 at a time. They're telling all the neighborhood squirrels to come to the nut house and get filled up because they're planting their seeds. We still got seeds to plant, and we got time to plant them in, because one thing is for sure, we're watching, we're waiting, we're looking up, we're encouraging one another, we're praying, and we know that at any moment that trumpet will sound, and we will all be changed in the moment, in the twinkling of an eye. As I say, this is Debbie from Texas. Let's keep looking up our King, who surely is coming.